you want to improve your speech, just talk. But since you clicked on this video, I'm going to give you a little bit something more than that. I'm going to give you a few tips and an exercise or two to help you speak more clearly and a little bit more comfortably. I'll make a separate video about speaking confidently, but I got you. So first and foremost, you want to slow down. The reason why you want to slow down is because you want to take out all those unnecessary filler words. That doesn't mean don't ever use filler words, but the unnecessary ones. Like when after every sentence you're and like it's too much. Sometimes I like to use and sometimes I like to use like to add just a sense of character to my sentences, to my words, and to make conversations seem not so robotic. Because you have people that get on camera and they give you tips like how to be this and do this and do this and do this, and there's a cut to make all those sentences sound perfect. There's no filler words and it just sounds robotic. You don't really get to relate to it, so I don't like to do that. But what I do is I'm very conscious of what I'm saying. I like to speak at a rate in which I can kind of watch what I'm saying and also allow my brain to keep up with my mouth, because people don't realize, but talking is a very complex motor skill. It's not just blabbing out stuff. It's a lot that goes into it. Your mind is working in many different ways. So I could have used and like when I just paused right there, and that's what most people do. They use those words to give themselves time to think. But when you could literally just slow down, think about what you're gonna say, think about how you're gonna say it, and how you want to communicate. And it's really very simple. The reason why most people get pressured to do things is because they're kind of afraid of silence. It's the same way, a guitar player or most amateur guitar players, when they're doing a solo or they're playing a guitar, they try to do everything fast. They don't want to make any silence, but real people will tell you, real musicians will tell you that the soul is in the silence. That guitar player that just shreds out a bunch of notes, yeah, it sounds cool, yes, it's impressive, but then there's that guitar player that take that one note and just ring it out. And it's in the silence, it's in that pace, it's in that cadence, it's in that rhythm where all the things go. It's just like a drummer, Somebody could sit there and yeah, that's cool. And there's gonna be moments when you need to do that. But then you got the dynamics. You know what I'm saying? There's different scenarios that call for different things. So when you're speaking about something that's very unnecessary, you can skip past those things. You can speak a little more quicker. But when you really want to get into details and you want to paint pictures and you really want to convey a message, that's when you slow down. So for example, I was just headed down the alleyway and, I bust to right, bust to left, and then I found myself in this place, right? I said all of that, but you don't really feel it. Now, I was just walking down this alleyway and then I took a right, and then I took a left. And all of a sudden, I got this weary energy about this thing. And I mean, the birds were chirping and the cars were passing by, but then all of a sudden, this one car pulled up, all black, tinted window. You get what I'm saying? You can skip past all the unnecessary details because you don't really want the person listening to focus on those things. So that's kind of my philosophy on the whole: speaking fast, speaking slow, taking out the filler words and all that good stuff. And then another thing that will help you speak more clearly is to know what you're talking about. And I'm not talking about concepts. I'm talking about words. We'll get into concepts in another video. But a lot of people like to use words that they're not familiar with, all these big words, trying to, enhance their vocabulary, which is cool. But many intelligent people, they use simple words to describe advanced situations. And you want to use things that you're more familiar with, things that you're more familiar with pronouncing. And one thing many people won't tell you is when you want to increase the quality of your vocabulary, it's not about the words in which you use in terms of how big they are, but how specific they are. So somebody be like, I feel bad. Okay, that sounds like something a kid would say. What type of bad? I feel angry. I feel upset. I feel devastated. You know what I mean? Or that car looks bad. How does it look bad? That car is destroyed. You know what I'm saying? There's different words that describe specific things, and a way to sound, a little bit better in your speech, or to be a little bit more clear in the way you communicate, is to be specific. That's the same reason why most people have respect for those people that are straightforward. They tell you how it is instead of beating around the bush. Well, the mind kind of picks up speech the same way. But another thing, and I struggle with this too. I'm from the South. I have a little accent. Some words I kind of mix together, like ask, right? Asking a question. Most of the people down there say ask, like ax or ask. It's all merged together. So I seen this, and I've tried this too. You can take this pen, you can put it in between your teeth, you can say the alphabet, you can say sentences, you can talk, you can do whatever with this pen in between your teeth, and it will make you over-articulate your words to the point where you don't have this, you will start to do this. So you can take a pen, right? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Not Elemento. It's not A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, Elemento. L, M, N, O, P, right? Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. You'll notice there's going to be a lot of tension in your tongue, right? So when you start to do this, you want to do it a few times a day, you want to do it 5 minutes out of your day, whatever. You're going to notice all that tension in your tongue. Well, eventually your tongue's going to get a little stronger, it's going to get a little bit more flexible, and because you're going to get used to over-articulating your words, without the pen, you're going to speak a little bit more clearly. And to wrap all that up, you want to take all these exercises, you want to take everything you learn, and when you're trying to learn something and improve, you have to analyze yourself, you have to watch film. So record yourself talking. Record yourself talking for 5 minutes. Record yourself doing these exercises. Record yourself doing all these things and analyze yourself. Look at the way you look. Look at the way you're talking, the way your hands moving. Some people have their hands down there, talk like relax, get comfortable. Explain what you're saying with your hands. You know what I'm saying? So record yourself, analyze what you're doing, and critique yourself. My eyes twitch a little bit too much. When I look into the camera, I blink a little bit too much. Or, the camera is representing the person. If I'm looking at somebody, and I know if I'm blinking a bunch at the camera, I'm probably blinking a bunch, when I'm talking to a person. And I can see myself judging myself because I keep stumbling over these words, and I'm thinking, well, these words sound better, and I don't sound good. You can't judge yourself, man. You just got to talk freely, but it all comes from practice. And it's not just you practicing talking, it's you practicing in the way in which you want to talk. So there's this little saying I was thinking about the other day. It was like, you should practice in the manner in which you want to perform. If I want to talk fast, why would I practice slow? Now, let me pause that. You practice slow to get a foundation of what you're saying, and then you progressively increase your speed, right? Because you want to do something right. You don't want to do it wrong and practice that because you're going to get bad habits. But let's say I wanted to talk fast, and it's like blah, 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 right? So the next week it need to be blah, 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 blah. And the next week, blah, 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 blah. And it just keeps going on and on and on and on. But you have to practice in the manner in which you want to perform. So if you want to talk slow, practice it slow. If you want to talk fast, slowly progress till you get faster. But I think the best speakers are the ones that speak in a very dynamic way. Just like I was mentioning earlier, they know when to slow down, they know when to speed up, they know when to get a little bit loud, they know when to get a little bit quiet. They have that good dynamic. The same thing with a dynamic driver. We hate being in cars, or we hate being around people that drive too slow. Maybe we don't like being around people that drive too fast. But that person who knows when to cruise so you can see the scenery, that person who knows to tear out of there like a bat out of hell when they need to, that person who can hit the curves just right, that person who can hold the car, those are the dynamic drivers. They know how to smoothly press on the brakes. It's not, it's just like, man, this dude know what he doing. So it's the same thing with conversation, man. So when I get back to the crib, bro, I got a video. It's going to be pretty good about speaking and improving. I want to do that one in my layer. You know what I'm saying? Got the vibe going and all that stuff. But I got y'all, man. So if there's something else you need any help with, just comment and I'll try my best to help y'all out. And with speech or anything. And if it's something that I'm missing or I'm not pointing out, or there's something that I do that you kind of want to replicate in a way, or if I inspired you in any type of way, whether it's speech, charisma, whatever the case may be, just let me know and I'll, try to get the information to you. But It's always a pleasure talking to you. I love you. I appreciate you. And get on that speaking, man. In 10 minutes, I want to see that you did all these steps, you done practice, and you done recorded yourself, you analyzing it, you see what you messed up on. I want to see you critique yourself in the comments. I want to see, I speak a little bit too fast, so I have a problem with stuttering, and this is what I'm going to do. I need some solutions to these issues, because we got to get better every day. That's the goal, and that's what we're going to keep doing. So, like I said, man, I love y'all. Y'all take care. Always a pleasure talking to y'all. Talk to you soon.